My name is Lauren Semper Scott. I am the parent of a young adult diagnosed on the autism spectrum over 18 years ago. I worked with specialists and special education professionals to help my child develop and succeed at school and extracurricular activities. The journey has been challenging with highs and lows, but I share my story freely and frequently on Facebook. And then one day, I cannot even say where or how, I saw something about a student at Queen's Royal College. His name was Rowan. I was intrigued just by his triumphs. When you are parenting a child on the autism spectrum, you worry about what will he or she do, or how will he or she develop to be a contributing citizen in society. These concerns, even worries and anxieties, begin shortly after the doctor or specialist says, well, he is or she is autistic. Call if you have questions. It's one thing to have questions. It's a whole different thing to have nowhere to go for answers that are positive, helpful, or reassuring. Can you imagine trying to figure out what makes your child melt down, shut down, or explode with joy? Or what it must be like to be met with negativity each time you want to pursue some new activity or find a school? I read the accounts of what Rowan was experiencing and how he was thriving at Queen's Royal College. In that story, I met Dr. Debra Bartholomew. She was not just a superwoman, she was a super advocate. In the journey of parenting an autistic child, your primary mission is the welfare of your child. Debra manages to have 2, maybe even 3 primary missions. One is the welfare, education, exposure, and inclusion of her son. 2 is enlisting her village and network of support. Most parents would have just enough energy for mission 1 and mission 2. Not Debra. Debra also ensures that she leaves everyone better informed about the gifts and abilities of an autistic. Through her easygoing efforts, or sometimes direct and purposeful encounters, she educates others. Getting what you need for your child is self-interest. Making sure that others get what they need to be wiser, even when they don't know it is what they need, that is community interest. Mission 3. Debra works for her sons and for the betterment of her community and our country. Raising a neurotypical child has its challenges. Raising a neurodivergent child in a culture and society that has closed minds and hidden stumbling blocks takes the word challenge to a whole new level. Dr. Bartholomew, Debra, doesn't make conquering the challenges look easy. She makes it look rewarding and fulfilling for the child, the parent, and those who are involved. From my interactions with her, listening to her story and watching her son thrive and conquer, I have learned that she does her research, trial and error with her son. She asks questions. She challenges outdated and ignorant perceptions with one goal in mind. How can I get what my son needs to have an equal shot, or just a shot? She seems to be always asking herself, what else we need to do to move this country and my people forward in their attitudes to neurodiversity? What else? And then there is the time she makes or finds to feed her soul. Her church responsibilities, her art, her music, her connections to her family, patients, friends, and her community. She collaborates with organizations and schools to raise awareness about eye care and eye health. She makes accessories and masks that others can't wait to get their hands on. When does she have time to respond to all of these needs? I wonder if she actually sleeps. Life has thrown lemons and bust up mangoes, and she has figured out how to repurpose them not just for lemonade or chow. Life has presented plenty of slam doors, people saying he can't, he won't, not here, try somewhere else. Her response? The more doors you close, the more creative I will get and the deeper I will dig. The result is that she finds and creates what she needs, and in the process, she adds to the lives of those around her. We learn from her. Teachers collaborate and learn from her, and all the while, her son thrives and soars as they find and make their own place in the world. Dr. Bartholomew models for us what it takes to ensure that your child is not left behind. She models for all of us what it means to live in community, broaden your community, enrich your community, and champion inclusivity in your community and your country. Debra advocates not just for her son, she advocates for all children with learning differences in this country. She is not waiting for the government. She reminds us that we are each chosen for a specific task. We each have gifts that serve our personal, professional, and community interests. Debra shows us that when they say no, you cannot or he cannot, you do not surrender until you have exhausted every option available to you. And when options are not available to you, what do? You lean into your own creativity, or you enlist the support and assistance of others. Debra also reminds us that every child and parent needs a strong support system. Debra reminds us that we are each other's keeper and community. Every parent believes that their child is the most special in the world, and that is true. But more than having children who are special, a nation needs special citizens to advocate for the needs of all children, the neurotypical and the neurodivergent. Dr. Bartholomew is that kind of citizen. She is a mother, daughter, sister, parent, co-worker, doctor, friend, and advocate who makes our nation richer. She makes us want to be better by modeling for us how we too can be aware of the needs of the different, by showing us ways to include the young adults and adults who have gifts differing, who learn and process differently, and who can and will make contributions to our society if we give them a fair shot. Debra is a walking, vibrant model of the power of neuro-inclusion. Dr. Debra Bartholomew, superwoman, super parent, super advocate.